Good day everyone, we are B4 and this is Jasmine, and today we will be talking about the first law of thermodynamics, which is basically the law of conservation of energy, and also talk about the meaning of E, Q, and W. So first and foremost, let's describe what thermodynamics is. Thermodynamics deals with the relationship between heat and other forms of energy. From the word itself, thermodynamics, thermo meaning heat. So, in particular, thermodynamics describes how thermal energy is converted to and from other forms of energy, and also talks about how it affects matter.
So now, let's proceed to the law of conservation of energy. What is the law of conservation of energy? Law of conservation of energy states that the energy can neither be created nor destroyed, although it may be transformed from one form to another. If you take all forms of energy into account, the total energy of an isolated system always remain constant. All the forms of energy follows the law of conservation of energy.
In the law of conservation of energy, the relationship between the internal energy, which is represented by capital letter E, work, which is represented by letter W, and heat, which is represented by letter Q, is dictated, wherein internal energy is defined as the energy associated with the random motion of molecules. Heat is the energy transferred between the system and the substance due to the difference of the temperature, and heat is conserved because it is not created or destroyed. And work is the total work the system have done.
For example, just like when you cold compress and you put the ice cubes in the ice bag, and after an hour or two later, they will notice that the ice has melted, but the temperature of the ice bag is cool. This is because the total amount of heat in the system has remained the same, but has just gravitated towards equilibrium where both the former ice cube, now water, and the ice bag are the same temperature. This is of course not a completely closed system. The ice bag will eventually become warm again, as heat from the environment is transferred to the bag and its contents.
So even the human body obeys the law of thermodynamics. So for example, you're in a crowded room and you will start to feel very sweaty and warmer. So this is the process that your body uses itself to cool off. Heat from your body is being transferred into sweat and becoming more and more disordered. It will transferred in the air, and many people will also feel that same heat and that same energy from the room, and will quickly heat things up. So this is like the first and second loss. No heat were lost, but it is merely transferred.
And here is the other example. Consider a situation where a person takes a very long bath. Immediately, during and after filling up the bathtub, the water is very hot, as high as 120 degrees Fahrenheit. The person will then turn off the water and submerge his body into it. Initially, the water feels comfortably warm because the water's temperature is higher than the person's body temperature. After some time, however, some heat from the water will have transferred to the individual and the two temperatures will meet. After a bit more time has passed, because this is not a closed system, the bath water will cool as heat is lost to the atmosphere. This person will cool as well, but not as much, since his internal hemostatic mechanism help keep his temperature adequately elevated.
One of the examples of first law of thermodynamics is flipping the switch light. Every one of us is dependent on electricity to turn our lights on. Electricity is a type of energy, but it is only a secondary source. The main source of energy must be turned to electricity so we can switch on the lights. Water energy, for example, may be harnessed by constructing a dam to hold back the water of a large lake. If we slowly release water through a small opening in the dam, we can use the pushing pressure of the water to turn the turbine around. With the aid of a generator, the turbine can be used to produce electricity.
Electricity is sent via power lines to our homes. Electricity has been produced out of nothing. It is a result of transition of water energy from the lake into another source of energy.
It is an example of the first law of thermodynamics because of how water energy was converted to another source of energy, which are we've been using its energy in our homes.